Hello, I'm Akiso9323 and I would like to say this. I am thinking of restarting my channel, although the content is likely to be a lot different than it was before. Merely because I'm going to start recording videos for games and downloading them, uploading them onto YouTube for people to watch. There might be some slight swearing and stuff like that, so I hope nobody gets offended by that, but whatever. Good laugh. But this video is not going to be about those games just yet. I first have to figure out a few little issues with lag and so forth. So until that point, I am going to dedicate this video to talking about my thoughts on the new Sun and Moon games for Pokemon. Now, to be honest, when I first saw the game, I thought the idea itself about the brand new environment, the way that everything works out, it was really interesting. I liked it. But there was one thing that annoyed me the longer that I thought about it. And that only recently came, well, not recently, it came up quite a bit ago, to be honest. Well, those changes that you see to Pokemon, the so-called Alolan forms, whoop-de-doo, I feel that it's too late for that kind of thing. I feel it's just pointless at this point. I have been playing Pokemon since Generation 1, and to be completely honest, I don't like Sun and Moon. Originally, I liked the idea behind it, but the longer that I spent thinking about it, the more and more I hated it. It represents everything that Pokemon could have been at an earlier stage. Gen 1 and Gen 2, I really wouldn't have expected those kind of changes. But Gen 3, maybe a possibility of something like that occurring. Like, I mean, at least the different forms of Pokemon that you can already get from Gen 1 and Gen 2 to that, I mean, there's always going to be Pokemon which are similar or the same from every other game. I mean, that's always been like that. I mean, if I was fully honest, I didn't mind that it wasn't done on any of the earlier generations of the game, but I did feel that once they got out, definitely got out to DS, or at least to the 3DS games, or the start of them, that those changes really should have been implemented. Pokemon have always looked the same no matter what. Sure, there are slight discrepancies, the differences between them and stuff, but that's just really different avatar looks because that's how they've been designed. Spinder's the only one which every single one that you find is different from the last. And to be honest, as well, that's where they should have kept going with that. They created a Pokemon which was completely different no matter how many times you saw it. I mean, they weren't supposed to do it. I don't expect them to do it with every single Pokemon. I'm saying that they should have at least had maybe different forms of a Pokemon, different colour schemes and stuff like that. But they didn't bring that up until the latest Sun and Moon, where they've created these Alolan forms. Every single place that you go to in the Alola region, I mean, not just the Alola region, every single region you go to, Pokemon as a whole, it's basically, it's a new place. If a Pokemon from any of the older generations went to it, there's of course going to be some changes to it. By, I don't know, by evolution standard. The whole idea behind it, of natural evolution and stuff like that, like, just basic adaptation should have occurred at an earlier stage, but they didn't think about it. To be honest, I like that they've put it in Sun and Moon, But what I don't like is that they didn't think of it so till now. The idea is just it. I hate the fact that it's only just come out now. Also, there are some Pokemon which I feel didn't need the Alolan form, or they just don't make sense. The one that I said didn't need, well, I mean, it could did it, but okay, the type that it's been given because of it, I don't think is a really good one. It just makes no sense. How is a palm tree with an extended neck that makes it look like it could swing it around like a baseball bat, or to be an actual proper palm tree like looking Pokemon, be a dragon type? It doesn't make any sense. They should have just kept it as a grass type. And if they wanted to add something to it, why not water? Or ground, like I said by accident when I was thinking it in my head. Why not something a little bit more obvious to what it looks like? But no, instead they've made it a dragon type. It makes no sense. It just sounds weird being a dragon. The look, it's got a tail as well. I think that tail's going to do much to support that long neck. The idea is stupid that it's a dragon type. It just doesn't make sense. One of the Pokemon that I'm going to say now does not make sense to have an Alolan form is Vulpix and Ninetales. The reason for that is that they're based on the idea of the nine-tailed fox, the Kyuubi and whatnot. And for someone like me who is a big fan of fantasy and the supernatural and stuff like that, it just doesn't make sense that they have an ice form. It doesn't at all. It doesn't fit their lore, in my opinion. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe if it was... not even that. It wouldn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that they have an ice form. When it comes to the different tails, they have void, they have lightning, they have fire, they have water. They don't have like ice as a specific element that they control. It's not one of the elements that they can control. So it doesn't make sense why Ninetales, even just Ninetales, has an ice type. Water is the closest thing that they have. So if it was a water type instead, it would make so much sense. But no, they made it an ice type. And I just find that so irritating. That they haven't thought about the lore, and if they have, they've just decided to completely deny it. I mean, Ninetales would be an excellent Pokemon to have different forms for, depending on the different elements. I mean, could you imagine having a dark type Ninetales? Or ghost type? An electric type one? A water type? It would be so much better. And a lot cooler. I mean, the idea behind having a Ninetales with 9 different forms, it's first being a fire, being one, that just makes it sound, that would make it cooler. But they didn't think about that. No, they give it an ice type, which makes no bloody sense at all. That just annoys me. I mean, of course, a lot of people are going to see this, going to think, ooh, but nobody really cares. And I was like, well, a lot of people have seen Sun and Moon, and I've heard them say words like, oh, it's revolutionary, it's amazing. But that's because they've added new stuff in that people who play Pokemon from the start aren't really used to, or it's just never happened before. So what makes it more irritating to me is that people say it's a good idea. Yes, it's a good idea. But I'm annoyed that it's only just come out now. Also, there are certain Pokemon in general, which they're annoying. Like Wishy-Washy. The name doesn't make much sense, to be honest, at all, because it sounds like something you'd call a window cleaner. And I would definitely call a window cleaner Wishy-Washy, just to make, or just to have fun with it. I mean, try new Wishy-Washy on your windows. That'd be funny. Also, for some reason, I'm reminded of this iToy thing from off of PlayStation. This song was like when I'm washing windows and stuff, and just the hilariousness of certain things like that. It's just the name doesn't make sense for it. But what annoys me is that a lot of people haven't seen any discrepancy with it, but its ability makes it a whole school of fish. And to be honest, in my opinion, just because it's one fish by itself doesn't mean it should be incredibly weak. But that's what they made it. And basically you have like 100 or so fish, an entire school of fish as one Pokemon in a form change. And to be honest, that's kind of OP in a way. That's like having in a 1v1, you've basically got 100 Pokemon which are now classified as one Pokemon. And that's completely unfair to every other Pokemon. That's a fight by itself. Except for maybe Execute and Exetor, but they've just got heads. Extra heads. It doesn't make sense. Then you've got Beware. It looks like a stuffed animal. They've started to take a lot of Pokemon ideas, creating them from Digimon ideas. We already have a stuffed animal Digimon called Monzaemon and Water Monzaemon. Oh, Etamon's the same as well now, think about it. We don't need you to making Pokemon look designed the same way. And Beware. What kind of name is that? That makes it sound like some weird kind of pedo bear reference. Beware of Beware. Why? It's a bear. It says Beware. You're basically going to have a lot of idiots that are going to, for laughs, call it pedo bear. I will do it myself. Just because you can. It looks stupid. The idea behind it is wrong. Okay? Just wrong. I wouldn't even mind sending this video to the actual people themselves making Pokemon and tell them that they're complete idiots. Look, people say that this kind of stuff is pointless to say, nobody really gives a damn, and all that kind of thing. But all I'm saying is that this is my opinion on the lot. There may be some people that agree, a lot of people disagree, but I'm one of the people that has played Pokemon since Gen 1. And a lot of people can't really completely say that, because some people would have played Gen 2 first, or Gen 3, and so on. And then might have gone to Gen 1 afterwards. And then there's also a lot of people that did start with Gen 1. And that doesn't really make a difference in all part by it, but there will be a lot of people that will be annoyed by it. And it's the really hardcore fans of Pokemon, and I'm talking about the really hardcore fans of Pokemon, like me, that comes along the part where I say, just stop. The idea behind Sun and Moon is good, but the ideas that they've represented, that they're bringing out, I feel it's too late. The game itself, it feels like it's dying off. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a single game, one more game, maybe even 2 different generations afterwards, and then that would be the end of it. Pokemon can't keep continuing on, otherwise it's going to become like Final Fantasy. And we all know that it bombed on several games. And a lot of people were big kind of haters of 13, I think it was, or was it 12? Either way, it was one of them. And all I'm saying is that let's not make it something like that. Let's not have Pokemon just drop so far below what it originally was. I mean, if it's going to die off, we want it to die off up here, way above the scale. And it just it saddens me to see a game that I've loved to play for so long just have this happen now. I mean, sure, it annoyed me for the whole fact that it was the same thing over and over through every different generation, so this new one game basically gives you new stuff. But I wanted that to happen back at like Diamond and Pearl, maybe, or Black and White, or I don't know, just one of them, maybe. Not now. It just feels too late, too pointless. It's like they're just throwing it out there just to say, come on, you must like this. We're giving you new ideas. Give us more of your money. And really, it just kind of feels more like desperation. A lot of people say they like it, but how can you like it when you really think down to the details of it? Some of the Pokemon look absolutely ridiculous. Like one of them, I can't remember its name, but it basically looks like a painting of some sort in the shape of a fish. With a stupid kind of really big lips. Anyway, one of you will figure out its name. I'm not looking this up because I don't care. I am not going to play Sun and Moon. I will swear that down. Even if someone buys me a copy, I will not play it. I hate it. The idea should have come out earlier. It should have. And I feel it's too late now to implement these new changes because some of them should have already existed, or basically have just replaced some ideas with new ideas. Like the riding Pokemon and all stuff like that. That's stuff that basically already existed, but now they've just changed it a little bit in their own little way. Now you can ride a Taurus wherever you want. I mean, they were starting to implement that in the latest of games, and then they just kind of like, well, now let's just make it a proper part of the game, and now you can just bring out a Tauros wherever you want, or whatever Pokemon you can ride on. And also evolving legendaries. A legendary that starts off as Cosmog or something like that, and then evolves into a different Pokemon. I can't remember its name. And then it evolves into the two main legendaries, depending on which game you've got, and day and night and so forth. That's just... Why? Why? I mean, sure, it was they made an Easter egg in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where if you took an Arceus to the place with the unknown, and you walk past the house, the guy would knock you down, and then he'd completely go like, "Oh my god, is Arceus okay?" And it's like, well, what about me? I own the damn thing. And then take you into the unknown thing, flashing game, and all of a sudden you end up in the middle of nowhere, in top of a mountain somewhere. You find Cynthia and some other people. She takes you into this temple, and Arceus creates a level 1 of one of the 3 legendaries from Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. And I'm just looking at that, and I'm thinking, why couldn't that evolving Pokemon theory idea not come in Heart Gold and Soul Silver? They created with an an event or whatever you want to call it, with a legitimate Arceus for that. And I wanted that idea. That idea would have been perfectly set if they'd done it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which they basically had the idea down for it. I mean, did they just go back to it and think, oh, let's do that now? It's just, oh, come on, guys. I mean, what are you thinking? I swear, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that they basically take out a Pokemon idea that they see from some fans that send it up and just laugh at it in front of people. I mean, they've even stated the fact that they do that. But I mean, it just, people's ideas could actually help you, especially Pokemon ideas. I mean, Beware, Wishy-Washy. Oh, come on, guys, you could come up with something better than that. And the Alone forms are just, some of them are just terrible. I mean, come on. But the last thing I'm going to say before I end this video is, I can't even pronounce his name right, but it's Magerna, I don't know, something like that. It's basically, it looks like a clockwork doll. And I've seen it on Cerebi, which I used to usually check on a lot just to see what's happening in that and just kind of laugh at some of the ideas. Yes, I'm doing what they do to the fans' ideas that they send in. I'm laughing at their ideas. I mean, sure, I laughed at other ones from before, like Vanillite and Klefki. I mean, just horrible Pokemon. Come on. Especially when their attacks. I mean, Acid Armor for an ice cream Pokemon, really? I mean, sure, it may be protection, some stuff from being eaten, but still, really. Just, I hate some of the Pokemon ideas have just been getting worse and worse. But Magerna is the worst of them all. Some of them just don't make sense in that. They seem like kind of things that happen in freak accidents like Voltorb and Magnemite. But it doesn't really, there's not really much on themselves or like what there was. I mean, I think it was something about Voltorb where there was some sort of accident in a Pokeball factory, but it doesn't make sense with the size Voltorb is and a Pokeball. They're completely different sized. It doesn't make sense that a Pokeball swelled from its actual size to create an exploding Pokemon. It must have been something else. It just doesn't really make sense, especially when it turns around and becomes a completely evolution. It's even bigger. It just doesn't make sense. But Magerna, whatever it's called, what annoys me the most, because it's an artificial Pokemon. It has a clockwork heart or some sort of artificial heart or something like that. It's basically the Pinocchio of Pokemon. It's a clockwork, it's a completely artificial life. And what irritates me is that, like Mega Evolution, and Ultra Beasts, with their stupid team of gangster people and that rip a hole, or whoever it is that rips a hole in the fabric of space-time, which I'm surprised Dialga and Palkia don't appear and kill them, brings forth the Ultra Beasts. Really? The Ultra Beasts. That, like Mergerna and the Mega Evolutions, is Digimon territory. Pokemon, people, stop doing this. It's not cool, it's not fun, and we know for a definite fact that every single Digimon that exists could defeat every single Pokemon that exists, and I can prove that with some of my earlier videos, especially the Mega Evolutions. If you want to go into legendaries and stuff, then let me bring out the more powerful Digimon, the God tier Digimon, and let me just say, there are a lot of them compared to how many legendaries there are. There is a champion level that could defeat Dialga by itself. Its ability can stop time. It's a clock, for Christ's sake. All I'm saying is that Pokemon is now creeping more into Digimon territory because Digimon hasn't really taken off. They both came out in a similar time frame, but Pokemon seem to be more interesting for some unknown reason. I mean, I am a hardcore Pokemon fan, but I myself am also an incredibly more hardcore Digimon fan. Now, some of the ideas that I create for Digimon have annoyed me, but this video is not about those ideas. This is about the ideas of Pokemon, where they've gone ahead, taken ideas from Digimon, which basically means that they are stealing ideas, but not actually, in a way, just taking reference from. And I'm surprised that people haven't decided otherwise about them. I see people saying, oh, Mega Evolutions are amazing for Pokemon. They're so powerful, so amazing. Really? Every single one of those Mega Evolutions is pointless and stupid. Dumb. I mean, Mega Alakazam, what does he do? From Abra, he gets a spoon, he gets 2 spoons, he gets loads of spoons. What's he going to do with all those spoons? It's stupid, alright? I hate that people think some of these ideas are good. They're not. And it's because that they like Pokemon more and haven't given Digimon the time of day. A lot of Pokemon fans don't care. They're like, oh, well, how do you know that? Well, watch Season 1 of Digimon. What happened? Oh, well, a whole space time appeared and they got sucked into the digital world from a gigantic tsunami. When they came back to the human world through a door, they ended up back where they started. Oh, and what happened? The digital world suddenly started appearing in the sky. Literally ripped a hole into the human world, between the human world and the digital world. And you could literally see the digital world. Oh, why does that sound a lot like the idea for the Ultra Beasts and their dimension? Because it's the same. Except in our case, the Digidestinants went into the digital world and the Ultra Beasts came to us. And the ideas for the Ultra Beasts are stupid. One of them looks like a jacked up mosquito. What? Did he drink enough blood of people on steroids that he became literally steroids himself? Like, God almighty, I swear down. I will not ever play Sun and Moon. It, at this point, is an abomination to some of the ideas, things, and that. And if they were going to do anything with it, they should have done it earlier. The game looked good, the ideas were good, but I believe they implemented them too late, and some of their other ideas are just completely horrendous and stupid. Now, you can make as many comments as you like if anybody actually sees this video on what you think about it and so forth, but to be honest, I don't care what you say. I'm just going to laugh at your comments. And my next video might even be about me laughing about your comments. So please, comment. I really want to see what you put down, because I'm going to make jokes about them. Now then, I believe that that's basically everything off my chest. Pokemon is now stealing from Digimon. That's a given. It's been stealing since Mega Evolution, but they made it sound not so plausible, even though the ideas for some Mega Evolutions are dumb, like Gardevoirs. Well, this is Akito9323 signing off, and if you're not a hardcore Pokemon fan, then oh well, but if you are, watch Digimon. You will see what I'm talking about. Bye. Signing off.